Welcome back, everybody. Jaysin Static with another episode of the interview series. I am Jaysin Static. You, sir, are
Brandon Espinosa, the leader of Dysfunction.
How long have you been in the wrestling business, Brandon?
Oh, way too long at this point. I started training in July and started wrestling in October of 2005.
2005. And me and you have a little bit of a history together, don't we?
Too much history.
Unfortunately, right?
Too much history.
Too much history.
You, me, Sami Zayn, a bunch of other people.
Trainer, you helped train me. You're one of the guys that helped take me on the road. You helped give me a lot of bookings. A lot of the stuff that I did was, in part of you helping me and dropping knowledge. Mm-hmm. But now it's me taking on you in these questions. Are you ready?
No, I'm not.
All right, man.
Knowing you, I'm not ready.
All right, first one. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Can you pinpoint the exact moment when you knew you wanted to become a professional wrestler?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been asked similar things to this a lot. So, one of the first big things that happened to me as a kid, like, you go to the doctor for sickness and it's normal and that just happens. But the first thing that I went to that wasn't that was wrestling related. Yeah. I was like 3 or 4 and I went to the doctor. I had a jammed neck, had to wear a neck brace for like 6 weeks.
Oh, crap.
And what it was is my dad and I were wrestling. Yeah. And he slammed me on the bed. Yeah. And I jammed my neck. And it was funny because when the doctor asked, I was like, oh, my dad threw me down. And he's like, oh, yeah, really? Really? And I'm like, yeah, he was Hulk Hogan. I was Macho Man. He's like, what were you doing? I was like, I was wrestling. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And I mean, I went a few years without watching it after that. And Reed brought it up when I was a teenager. And then I started talking with a fellow wrestler in St. Louis named AJ Williams. Yeah. He's a good friend of mine since like 8 or 9. And he knew about MMWA. Because he was a camera guy. And then it just
blossomed from there. Yep. And you've had, over the years since 2005, you've done a lot of stuff. Yep. Would you want to go into any of that stuff?
I mean, I'm currently an OVW roster member. I'm a World League Wrestling roster member. I've done a handful of Ring of Honor matches, a couple matches for Impact.
PWI and all that stuff.
PWI Top 500 for 10 years straight. And then I also, was an extra for a while for WWE. A lot of those.
You're the hot dog guy.
Yes, the hot dog guy.
The hot dog guy.
Yes,
Adam Rose.
For Adam Rose, and then had a hot dog hat for No Way Jose. Yeah. So, plus also, some security roles and stuff. Yeah. But and then I've just been around for a long time. Yeah,
and over the course of these last decade and a half, pushing 20 years now, almost. Close to it. 2025 would be 20 years probably. Yeah, so what is something that you've really learned that over the last 20 years that you didn't know back then when you started, that you really wish that you would have applied, that you know now? You know what I mean? Yeah. Something that you know now that you really wish you would have applied back then?
I mean, one of the major things that I tell like a lot of the younger guys, especially guys I've trained, you even know, is just please get gear. Have real professional gear. Mm-hmm. Have your own logos. Knowing about like self-image,
self-awareness,
self-promoting, self-awareness, it really, really helps. Like promoters know what to do with you. It helps promote you. Yeah. And knowing that now, it has helped me a lot more, even in the last 3 or 4 years with Dysfunction. Even doing that, I wish I would have known that from the get-go. Yeah. And a lot of guys, the guys that trained me didn't tell me stuff like that. But it's knowledge I try to give to the young guys now, especially helping as we are sitting out here at IEW, helping out with the roster there. Yeah. Just be self-aware of yourself and know what you are and invest in yourself. Yeah. And because investing in yourself just shows that it shows that you're serious about what you're, it literally shows that you're serious about this. Yes. And then if you look like you're serious, the promoters are going to take you more serious. You're probably going to get more bookings because you look professional. And the fans will take you more serious, which ultimately is who we do this for. Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate that first question, man. Yeah. Thank you. Brandon Espinosa, are you ready for this next question? Yes, I am, Jaysin Static.
All right. This is something I've asked a lot of people. A lot of people have come up with this. Okay. And it's one of the ones that I really like people answering because I get the differences of opinions from a vast array of guys. So, is social media a blessing or a curse for professional wrestlers and professional wrestling promotions?
The only curse that it is that it allows backstage drama to be known about.
Right.
So that's the only curse. And also knowing too much of the inner workings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to know what a magician has to do to put on his act. I just
Right,
want to watch the magic show.
Yeah.
I don't want to know of all the backstage stuff from Marvel movies or
Right.
any movie I watch or horror movies.
Yeah.
I just want to watch. I just want to enjoy. Yeah. And I think that's the only curse. It's a blessing though, because it allows things like this to happen.
Right, absolutely.
The interviews are available more now. You can hear more so of the inner, on the same spectrum, but the inner workings of a
Right.
character or a person.
Mm-hmm.
You get to know more about them, and you're more readily available for the fans.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the Comic-Cons. You don't. I mean, you should still.
Yeah.
But you don't
absolutely.
that's not the only way to see them now
Yeah.
or talk to them. And
you can build. You can essentially build your own platforms.
yes, I mean, look at Matt Cardona.
I mean, hell, there's
even within WWE, he was able to build his audience from social media, which has now helped him be who he is and not have to worry about a mega company behind him. I mean, I know GCW is pretty well known, but it's not at the level of a WWE or an AEW or an Impact, but they still have a lot of reach.
Right. So do you think it's for young up and coming guys, since we work with a lot of young up and coming guys, do you think it's good for young up and coming guys to utilize at least one platform extremely well?
For sure. Just make sure that, again, they stay away from the drama.
Yeah.
Don't comment on political things or like top
topics of the day type stuff.
Just let it go. Be yourself. Again, I've told a lot of guys, just like this interview, you want to be more focused on the positives.
Yeah.
Don't focus on the negatives. And like, as long as they stay away from that, get on there. Get on as many social medias as you can.
Yeah.
I'm not on TikTok, but like that's a huge platform.
Right.
Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, YouTube. Get on all of it. Mm-hmm. But if you have to get to, at least get on one of them.
Yeah.
And because the reality of it is, and this is something I even had to talk to some of the guys my age, that if you're not on Facebook, you're not going to get booked.
Yeah.
Because most promoters don't do emails anymore. They don't want to be called. They don't want to be texted. They want to be messaged on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that I've told a lot of the guys that I work with the Fight Club crew is like, you don't have, get all of them, get as many as you can, and just do one of them extremely well.
Yes.
You know, like me, like I'm a YouTube guy. You know, YouTube for me is what a lot of people don't understand is YouTube is the second biggest search platform in all of the internet.
I believe it. I'm on it all the time.
You know, so, you know, and I'm one of those guys. I don't have a TV. I don't have a cable TV service. I have a Netflix account and I have my YouTube account, and everything that I do is on YouTube and Netflix.
That's all you need.
You know, and so something that I tell the guys is like, even if it's just you uploading your daily life, going to the gym, working out, little quips, little thoughts, you know, ideas and shit that you have, you know, put that shit out there because you never know who's going to be able to pick it up.
Yep.
You know, and so with that being said, I got one extra question for you.
Okay.
Because we know each other, we've been in cars with each other, and we've ridden around a lot of hours. What is something to leave the fans and the people who see this video? Mm-hmm. What is something, a bit of Brandon Espinosa knowledge that you can drop on somebody that could make them be like, ah, I get it now?
Within wrestling?
Yeah.
Just the big thing is, and like with the psychology of wrestling, there is no wrong answers.
Right.
As long as you can tell the why, it's perfectly okay. A lot of guys think that it's got to be the 7-step formula.
Right.
They got to think of, you know, the way that I was taught heat is that it's something to take away from the fans and whatnot. There's not just one right answer in wrestling.
Yeah.
There are many wrong answers, but you can still find a way to make a wrong answer a right answer. Right. If you can find a reason on why you're doing something and you can explain it to anybody, whether it's verbally or in the ring, right, then it's a right answer.
That's something oh man. And that's funny that you say that, because that's literally something that I tell all the guys that I talk to is, you know, I could tell you something and it could be absolutely wrong. But then Brandon sees it and he's like, well, maybe we could do it this direction and spin it to this way, and it actually does work. And then I'm like, oh, you know, maybe I was wrong and he was right.
Yep.
You know, like it's one of those things. I think there's tried and true things in wrestling. That's, you know, safety and all that stuff. That's the tried and true. That doesn't change. But everything else changes. It changes depending on the situations, depending on the story, depending on who the people in the story are, and if they can actually pull it off. You know, and shit like that. So do you have anything to promote?
Yeah, so tomorrow, August 21st, I will be at World League Wrestling at the Verizon Amphitheater for the Smashing Pumpkins concert. We are doing a double show. One before one concert and then right before the Smashing Pumpkins. OVW is coming back on television on August 29th. So please watch that.
I think I seen a promo about that.
Probably because of me.
Yeah.
So be watching that. Follow Illinois Elite Wrestling. It is currently my passion project. I've helped this company get double, almost triple its followers. I've asked you to come help. Asked a bunch of other guys to help so that we can make this a place for young guys to come and want to wrestle, as well as bringing in some older guys that can help get these younger guys to a bigger platform. So yeah, please follow OVW Wrestling, follow World League Wrestling, follow Illinois Elite Wrestling. Please follow anything of mine on Facebook, Twitter. You know, there's a bunch of other extra promotions I work for, but those major three.
And I'll put all that stuff down in the description below. We're gonna run it out just like we always do, everybody. Jaysin Static across all social media: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Fight Club Wrestling Academy on Facebook, YouTube. Follow us there. We need the views. Comment, bros. Comment. That helps drive the algorithm. And last but not least, a passion project that I have. We are 138co.com. That's my website where you can get the Fight Club merch, you can get the Jaysin Static merch, and you can actually even get something that I do. It's called 138 Streetwear. And a lot of it is going to be professional wrestling based streetwear. So check us out, everybody. Check us out, man. Brandon, I appreciate you, brother. I love you, man.
Thank you, Static. Love you too, buddy.